You've spoken about this ban twice now tonight, speaking of its benefits and speaking of it in terms of it being an inherent good. I'm wondering where you've gotten that messaging from, because there's meta-analyses of the research that says that there is no evidence basis for that.
And Elaine, is this ban practical?
No. Because, and even if we had the perfect version of privacy-preserving version of age verification, which is something that is being developed, I can then still set up the account, get the access with someone else's approval and move on. And we do know that in practice, a lot of accounts are actually being set up for kids by adults and then passed on to them. So it kind of ignores that is kind of a cultural norm already.
Yeah, but we get around everything in society.
Yeah,
but the fact that this is possible to do, like if people want to get around anything, let them do it.
Yeah.
But if it's legally imposed, is it practical to have a facility to reassure parents at home tonight, reassure me, that my children can be monitored in a fashion that they can't be using facilities that aren't appropriate to them?
You've spoken about this ban twice now tonight, speaking of its benefits and speaking of it in terms of it being an inherent good. I'm wondering where you've gotten that messaging from, because there's meta-analyses of the research that says that there is no evidence basis for that.
Pardon?
There is no evidence basis that a social media ban would be good for children. There's no scientific backing of that.
So there's ample evidence worldwide.
Sorry?
Right? There is ample evidence.
No, but the meta-analysis of the scientific evidence
that under 16s are being damaged by social media.
Struggling with mental health services, and what we're not doing, we're sidestepping issues by not then talking about the demolition.
I have two children. Okay, if I have two children, these rogue companies. I work for a media company that is compliant with the law internationally. We are absolutely constrained by defamation law.
What you're saying is people come to us regulated like publishers, which is something that I would also advocate for, but they're not, and we're sidestepping that by introducing these things instead of what people have been calling for in terms of regulating these companies for years now. We are distracting ourselves by trying to assuage the very real fears that parents have. We are getting into distraction territory, and I think the platforms are very happy that we're distracted by this issue.
Spain, France, Australia, the Irish government and the EU will ultimately end up backing this. They're all involved in distraction tactics by wanting to bring in age limits on social media.
Are bringing different points to bear on this, but some politicians are political goal scoring because this is something that really wins people over.